Even with unemployment still high, we're learning compensation for executives is growing. This also comes as CEOs continue to cut millions of jobs. Alicia Nieves is looking into just how significant the growth is and why it may be hurting the entire workforce.
While more than 50 million Americans have lost their jobs over the past 5 months, and many are still struggling to make ends meet, those running some of the biggest companies in this country are thriving.
We find that a CEO now earns about 320 times that of a typical worker in their main industry.
Lawrence Michel is a labor economist and fellow at the Economic Policy Institute, an independent think tank in Washington, D.C. Michel just authored a report analyzing CEO compensation. It shows, first, how headlines in March and April of CEOs cutting their salaries during the economic downturn wasn't as big of a sacrifice as it seemed.
Salaries make up about 5% of the total compensation package. It seems like even when the CEOs say they are making a sacrifice, it's really, I think, better for press releases than in the actually that they're going to take a cut in their standard of living.
But more eye-opening, the report shows how CEO compensation growth is affecting and has affected workers everywhere.
If you look at CEO compensation since over the last 4 decades, back in 1978, CEO compensation grew 1,167%. And the compensation of a typical worker grew 13 or 14% over that period.
What is more, the report shows CEO compensation increased by 14% just last year and is set to continue to go up this year, even in a recession with companies having to let go of millions of workers.
The wages of the vast majority, the bottom 90%, has grown only half as fast as it otherwise would had the top 1% not really expanded like it did.
Essentially, the profit pie has not grown proportionate to CEO compensation growth. So as CEOs are getting significantly higher raises, it's taking from other workers' ability to get the same.
I think this is a problem of corporate governance. It's a problem of our tax policies. And it needs to be addressed like that.
Proposed solutions include capping CEO compensation and taxing everything above the cap, to allowing shareholders and company workers to directly have a say in their CEO's pay. But both solutions are as controversial as the problem. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.